You're listening to At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga on 104.5 The Team, ESPN Radio.
As we come back, let us remind you that At the Post Live, Serling on Saratoga is coming to you live from the Parting Glass Pub in downtown Saratoga and is presented by Naira Bets. Join Naira Bets and earn up to 50,000 points and $100 cash bonus by using promo code SUNRISE. Sign up at NairaBets.com. Naira Bets, racing's best play. And Timeform US. Visit timeformus.com for summer discounts on unlimited PPs and David Aragona's exclusive betting strategies for Saratoga weekend racing. We also got some Naira Bets stuff up here we're going to give away at the end, right? Gio's going to throw it out. You just can't wait, can you? If you are not familiar with my next guest, you will be very familiar with him very, very soon. And you might never be the same because nobody ever escapes a visit from Eric Dio unscathed. You know, I have a question. Most people that come to Saratoga, Eric, are concerned that they're going to come up and embarrass themselves. You come up here and you're concerned that you're not going to embarrass yourself.
Well, I shouldn't be judging people. People shouldn't be judging me, right?
Nobody would judge you.
Yeah.
You had a shirt on last week that said something about the haters. Why would anybody hate you?
I just hate it. It's just human nature. I mean, listen, it's pretty simple. If a man on one side of the sidewalk down on Broadway was receiving a Nobel Peace Prize and two women were mud wrestling on the other side of the sidewalk, on the other side of the road, who would draw the crowd?
I'm not answering that question.
Case closed.
It's the first one. It's the first bullet I'm going to dodge. So, you know, a lot of people have one question they want me to ask you. Where did the whole voodoo doll thing start?
Actually, it's you know, it's part of my heritage in Louisiana. I had great aunts that would do the tarot cards and to read the palms. And when you'd have warts as a kid, my uncle would take his knife on the rose bush and do a prayer thing. And so it's just for fun, you know. I think my brother's FedEx in my box. I'm told to make sure the duct tape was tight because I didn't want all the...
You didn't bring him up? You didn't know that Lauban was going to win and you're going to...
No, I just didn't have time. It's kind of, you know, it's been played, so I kind of, you know, I got to get some new characters.
You do? Well, you could... Who are you thinking?
Let's see. Clement was Kermit the Frog, and Chad Brown was Charlie Brown, and, you know, Fletcher was the guy from Twilight Zone with the tie and the sick back blue eyes and the thing, so...
Yes, he sure shares a last name with me.
Jerry Hollendorfer was on. I can get one from you. I think that, what's the name of that little cartoon with the one eye, the little guys, the Minis?
I have no idea. I don't know
what is it? Minions, that's you.
Really?
That's Minions.
I'd be honored if you get it. Let me tell you.
Maggie, that's a good one, huh?
If you got a voodoo doll from me, it would probably improve my luck.
Yeah, well. Yeah.
I'd consider it an honor to get one from you. Now, tell me. Now, let me ask a question. You ran Lauban as a maiden in Nothing But Stakes. What leads you to do something like that? Pretty much
two maiden races. The first two were maiden.
But then you ran in stakes.
Yeah,
you ran in the Gotham, the Bluegrass. Did he run one race since the Bluegrass? Was this his first race?
No, he won he ran in the Preakness, split the field in the Preakness, and then Dwyer. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, I don't get up at 4:30 to train maidens. Well, who can't win a maiden race? You know, that's for the insecure people in the world, not for Gio. I like to say this is my first greatest stakes race with a maiden, or my second, but actually it's my third.
Well, you ran Moreno, I want to say, in stake races. You broke his maiden at Belmont. Was it Belmont Stakes Day you broke his maiden?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah.
He was pretty good, Moreno, right? Mm-hmm. Won the Whitney. We'll talk about him.
Okay.
But Lauban, you actually mentioned that if he didn't win the Jim Dandy, you were thinking of running a maiden race after that, right?
Yeah, but, you know, the cliche, Andy, about, you know, this is a bunch of bull when they say, oh, get a horse and you let him win and it's going to build his confidence. That's a bunch of BS. The horse don't count. The horses, I never seen a horse. I mean, maybe Mr. Ed could read the racing form, but Lauban couldn't. You know what I mean?
No.
Sure. No, not hardly. He didn't know.
I hear he uses Timeform US, actually. He's much more computer literate.
Yeah, so I mean, they can't. They don't know. They don't have a clue. What, you know, if they have to have confidence to break their maiden or to get them to tougher, then they have $5,000 claim at the end of the day.
So Lauban's going to go to the Travers.
Yeah, why not? You know?
I don't blame you.
I agree. If I'm not mistaken, I think there was a couple Belmont winners, 1-2 runner-up behind me.
I agree. I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a score to settle on the Travers, right? Got to be the toughest beat of your life, right?
Oh, for sure. I walked out emotionally out on the Gap out by the cafe there, and it was 50,000 roaring people, and I just wanted them to all go home. I think it would. I just want to all go home.
You're not the only one, believe me.
I hope I didn't have. Glad I didn't have an AK-47.
That for those of you that don't remember, 2013 Travers, you ran Moreno, and he had run third in the Jim Dandy. Is that true?
That is correct.
And he got beaten in the absolute last zop.
Yeah.
So much so that Lane Lucas, who trained Will Take Charge, sitting in front of me, I don't think he knew he won until he asked me who won. You could barely tell who won.
Yeah, it was this last surge. It was definitely the last jump at 30-1 at that. You know, I wanted my pirogue painted. The pirogue is a Cajun word for canoe. I wanted my canoe painted pretty Southern Equine silks in the lagoon over there pretty badly.
I think a lot of people were surprised that you didn't get a canoe and just put it in there.
Well, actually, I saw Horton Will Take Charge's canoe getting ready to get prepped over there, and I came this close from getting a cordless drill and drilling a hole in it, to be honest with you, before they put it.
It's hard to blame you, to be honest with you. Now, Moreno, after that, he ran second again to Will Take Charge in the PA Derby. Is that true?
Right, that is correct.
And then he had really his biggest win, obviously, was in the Whitney, where he buried the field the next year.
Yeah, he did. You know, his horse had his issues, and I mean, he ran 4 straight years without a break, and at the highest pinnacle. I mean, the whole thing is, like, my partner and I both, I mean, on any given day, I love my horses. I know every pimple on every one of my horses, and the big dances is fun, but, like, I don't ever go to the races. I don't follow the numbers, the Regason, the Theragraphs, the buyers, and all that. I don't, you know, if you put a pistol to my head and put my kid's life on the line, I mean, who I love dearly, and said, name another horse besides the big ones, I wouldn't be able to name them. I mean, I just don't follow it that much.
So you just run them?
I run because I've been having horses all my life. I can train any kind of horse. A jumping horse, a cutting horse, a reining horse, a camel.
You'd be big in the jump set. You know, Joe Clancy's going to be on next. I think you'd be really big in the jump set.
I tell you what, those guys that ride those jumpers, they got the biggest cojones in the game. Ain't no doubt about that.
I'm not going to argue with that. I can't disagree. Now, you first came to New York, or the first time we noticed you was Champagne Doro, who won the Acorn and the Test. Was that your first, like, sort of trip to New York to run any races, big races?
You know, I came in. Well, I won the Pilgrim with a horse called Elusive Bluff.
That was you. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I remember the horse, but I
yeah.
didn't. Yeah.
And
he paid like 32-1. Wasn't he a big price in there?
Yeah. That's why, you know, I got a lot of fans calling me the new Giant Killer, but for respect to Mr. Jerkins, because I love Mr. Jerkins, I was just stuck with the Dragon Slayer.
Really? So what was your relationship like with Alan? Is there anybody that didn't have a good relationship with Alan Jerkins?
I don't know. You know, I had breakfast with him once with Zito over there at the Country Kitchen thing one time, and that was the only time I ever known him and met him, you know. And I met Jimmy, his son, a couple of times through Dr. Galvin. Galvin and I are really good friends, and he does his work. But I didn't really know him that well. But, you know, just from the hearsay, you could tell he was an honorable man.
He was a remarkable man, no question about it. So Champagne Doro comes, wins the Test, and pays the Acorn, and paid like $80-something.
Oh, yeah, I had $90,000 cash.
Really? $90,000 you won?
I'm over $1 million up betting on my own just to win.
Really? You bet Loudman last week?
Yeah, I made 4,800, doubled up, 5,600. 5,600 to win is all.
Okay. You gonna parlay it in the Travers?
It's not that much. Normally I bet a lot more. I mean, remember when I had Arcadura that first year and I beat Morning Line and paid $90?
Yeah, I do remember that.
I paid, yeah.
You beat Morning Line.
The next year when I had that Marino's Mom that paid $75
I don't
on the
remember
grass.
that one.
Yeah, I hit both those too.
Really?
Yeah, you know, you got to pick your spots. That's all.
So you're taking all. You come to Saratoga, you take all our money, basically.
Well, I mean, you know.
You left California, is that true?
I did. I'm actually going to be an East Coast guy permanently now.
Really?
Yeah, that's why, like I said, I told them there's only 2 things they've been saying since I got here. Gio, when you're effing leaving, and when your brothers come and cook. Only 2 things.
You never invite me to the barn you have gumbo at the barn, is that true? Or jambalaya?
Yeah, well, either one, but we're going to have gumbo this year because it's going to be closer to Labor Day, so it's going to be, weather be a little cooler, you know.
So that'll be like the last week you have it?
Yeah, you know, plus it's kind of dangerous. You can't eat it standing up because it makes your knees buckle.
I want to come. I've never invited. We're friends. You never invite me.
They stuck me in the harness track, so there's nowhere. So I got Big Daddy Juan Dominguez actually financed a spot on Clare Court to cook.
Really?
Yeah, it's gonna.
Well,
be
that's
good.
because he wants to eat some of it.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, exactly. That's for sure.
A lot of it, not some of it. He wants to eat a lot of it. So after Champagne Doro, Moreno was sort of the next big horse we saw of yours around here.
Let's see. I had Open Water. I came up. I run a couple greatest stakes in California with, and I think I ran third in that. What's that big long grass race at Belmont? 3-year-olds.
3-year-olds? 3-year-old fillies?
Yeah.
Not,
I think I ran third.
Back then, maybe the Garden City?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh,
Run
really?
third with her, yeah.
Okay.
My first one, though, was actually 2002, was showed me the stage. That good sprinting.
Are we going to get you at Aqueduct in the winter?
I was just spent 12 days at JFK Airport. I seen more people from around the world coming out that lobby.
How'd you spend 12 days in JFK Airport?
Because I flew there early to go, knowing that it was a heavy track. Well, the band gave me work over the track. That was the first time I ever trained in snow in 35 years.
Which horse were we talking about?
When I run second to Gotham.
Oh, okay. But you should spend the whole winter with us at Aqueduct.
Well, I rented it.
Right, Maggie?
Right.
You know, Maggie's going to be gone. I'm going to need another friend. You got to come around.
That's just what I want to do. You can't pay me to live in New York City. There's not enough money in the world. Matter of fact, when I leave the gate and I drive to the Marriott in Long Island every time I'm at Belmont, from the red light and the gate to the thing, that doesn't look like there's one happy person.
I live in New York City. I'm a happy guy.
If I was one of those guys that was driving the Toyota Celica with the 8-bell and string tie in the hood and struggling like that, I think I'd take my last paycheck, fill up my car, abandon ship, and go to Kansas and grow wheat. Live in a tent.
Really? You can go to Colorado.
Like
you can go to Colorado and grow weed if you want now these days. There's no racing there, right?
You can grow weed over there.
Right. So where are you going to go? Where are you going after?
I already gone. I just talked to Campo PA last week. Campo loves me.
You go to Gulfstream?
That's right, because I'm a horse trainer, pal.
It's all right.
Campo.
I was there for a couple months.
Campo, but he's. I'm going to go to Palmetto, stay year round.
Really?
Yeah. What I'm going to do, Andy, I'm going to come here just for 8 weeks instead of ahead of. I was going to buy a lake house here and stay 5 months. But the last thing I want to do is get my horses and get in the van and drive to the city for 3 hours and come back. And my back's got a bad back and bad attitude. And I don't want to drive to the city.
You don't have a bad attitude. Who are you kidding? This is all an act. You're actually a nice guy.
But Palm Meadows is, as a matter of fact, Bill Cohen, me and Patrick are real good friends. Patrick called me yesterday. He says he loves it down there. He's down there permanent from California now. He says the track, I want to go because Mike and I in Southern Equine, it's all about trying to develop young horses. You know what I mean? That's what we do. We breed horses and we develop young ones. So every time I come to Saratoga, I bring 15, 12, 13, 15. I got 3 ready to run and the others forcing the envelope to get there. So it doesn't make any sense for me to come here. It makes more sense for me, to be April, May, June in Florida and get the one, and then just come with a handful and stay just for the 8 weeks like, most do, and then go back to Palmetto. So.
And that's going to be all right?
I'm fine with that. I want to kind of have a route. I'm getting old. I lived in 68 different places in the last 30 years. It's average.
What were the craziest places you lived?
Let's see. Probably at Hollywood Park in the tack room for 8 months smoking meth.
Okay, I didn't ask you what you were doing while you were there. I asked you where you were living.
Oh, but
Hollywood Park tack room smoking meth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably chasing my love.
It's a life choice.
It was during the Rodney King deal, and I come up for 3 days, and they told me, hey, you can't get out. They're pulling all the white boys out the vehicles. I said, they're not going to pull this crazy Cajun out.
You never really know what you're going to get with Eric Eo. So that's the...
You do. You absolutely do know. You know what you're going to get? The truth.
There you go. All right. So
I don't hide from the truth.
How did you get involved in training horses?
It's in my D&B.
I mean, your family?
Like DNA, but it's D&B in Louisiana.
Whatever.
No, it's my great uncle. His name was Poufette Del Cambre. My mom's side comes from pretty much raw pedigree and from Canada. She really does. And
Canadian?
My mom comes from raw pedigree. And my uncle owned probably the first racetrack in the United States. It was 1848 in the State Library of Louisiana. I got a picture of it. I'll show you. They've got a little stand, just like the Whitney stand, just the whole grandstand, just like one little tower. You know what I mean? So it's in Louisiana, it's a walk of life. I mean, it's a different way of life. I mean, within a 30-mile radius, there was 6 match race places growing up. I mean, think about it. How many Hall of Fame and how many famous jockeys within a 20-mile radius where Gio was raised? I was raised 4 blocks from Eddie D. And we'd match a $500 horse on a Sunday morning for thousands of dollars and go to junior high and cross the hall like this and then have like a riot and argue and fight and fist fight on Monday morning at school. So we'd ride Friday night in the horse shows and then Saturday trail ride and then we hop them and match them at 10 o'clock Sunday morning, the same horse.
Really?
Yeah, I've seen it all. The starting gates were actually permanent railroad ties with garage springs and there's no latch on the gate. So when the gates kick, if you didn't break, they'll come back and break them kids' knees.
Wow.
But the best jockey is about is a 2-ply hefty garbage bag under overgirth. They just keep running. It's pretty good.
So you graduated from this to Southern Equine.
Well, actually, I moved to California when I was about 20, 21, 82, 81, like this. And when I went there, and it was actually It was only, all I did was have fun, and I was straight from Louisiana. I didn't even know what San Diego was at the time, so all I did was have a good time, live at the beach. I was contracted, making good money contracting. I've been a general contractor since I'm 22. Had a couple of beach properties and a 3-acre farm and chased my horse dream again. But when I was there, it was only, back in the day, back in the 80s, it was mostly the owners were giving all the horses to the McAnallys of the world. And it was always the old money. None of the owners were young, So it was, I think at the age of 25, when I got my license, 26, 25, it was only under the age of 30 with me, Bob Hess Jr., because his dad was a trainer, and Ron Ellis, who worked for, I think, Mandela at the time or something like this. So it was tough. I mean, it was tough to get broke in, My first graded stakes race, the first race I won in California was a grade 2.
Really?
Destined.
No.
Destined for greatness.
That's sort of Destined for Greatness? That was the name of the horse?
No. Slew the Surgeon was the name of it. You want he actually, this it is, I just put him down one day before 25 days to the year last month in June.
Really?
I couldn't make him suffer one more day. It would have been kind of cool, 25 to the day, but I had to deal with the one day. But buried under the apple trees at my farm in Midway.
Is that right?
Yeah, big old.
You got a farm in Midway, Kentucky?
Tombstone, yeah, got
really?
3-acre farm, yeah.
Nice.
Southern England, awesome farm, the old Parish Hill.
No, you going to go to Kentucky at all, or?
No, I stayed with there for 3 months for the first time. Well, actually, I stayed with twice. I stayed when Champagne ran in the Oaks, Kentucky Oaks, and Indian Charlie was funny because the first time I stayed with there ever, he goes, "That's about right, Gil." I got there to work the first morning, and there was police ripping around my barn, and one of my hot walkers walked the boyfriend's horse, and his wife stabbed. One's in the hospital, one's in jail. Stabbed the other hot walker girl. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's rough.
Yeah, and then I stayed with him in Keeneland. I hated it this year. I was there April,
really?
May, and June. I just came from Keeneland.
Why?
Because I wanted to go check on the farm. Got rid of I needed to do a lot of kind of revamp the crew at the farm and got rid of the vet. So I knew I was coming here, and in California. The problem with California is like being on an island as far as if I got some of those mares and fillies I got to work 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. They're ovaries. And if they run third, fourth, fifth, I got to run them a dozen times. And so it's like, all right, well, let's just breed them. You can't run them for a tag. At least I get to go to Monmouth and here and Finger Lakes and Tampa Bay and Calder, So that's kind of the plan. The plan is if I stay on the East Coast, the racing is just better. The people are better. I mean, there's so much.
They are.
They are.
And they like you here,
I love
right?
my Italian
People
friends.
like you here.
Yeah. Well, I like
right?
the people. The people, they have character. They kind of like tell it like it is, too. They're not scared to at least be themselves. California, they all walk around scared to, be judged and who they are and everything. It's got old.
Well, we're happy to have you.
Well,
I wish you'd just come to Naira and hang out with me, more. We could use the entertainment.
Well, I tell you, it's not entertainment ain't free.
Really? You want money to come and hang out with me?
You had to dig up them coffee cans.
I'll talk to Maggie about it. We'll see if we can work something out. It's nice to have you around. Do you have any 2-year-olds?
No, that's why I got a bunch of them. Actually,
gonna run them?
I got one. I got a New York bred that's actually, and they can run a little bit. He's it's Girolamo.
Girolamo, yeah.
Yeah, I bought him at the Maryland sale. Worked 48 and 2 gag the other day. He's pretty good. Bigger looking coat, and I bought him in the Maryland sale. The thing is, I bought most of them because I got them in the April, May, June.
Right.
And Keeneland's track was they just didn't maintenance it. It's like, oh, it might rain. Let's just leave it sealed to 8:30. You know what I mean? And so I couldn't really afford to screw them up. So I kind of waited till I got here and kind of trained them light. So I'm a little bit behind. So by the time it's time to drive down to Belmont, they'll be ready. That's
so you're going to be at Belmont with us, at least for the Belmont.
I'm not sure. I might. I'm still up in the air whether I'm going to stay through October 31st and then go to Palm Meadows because it's probably still hot in Miami right now.
Yeah, it probably is.
Yeah, I figured
we want you to stay around.
Yeah,
it's nice at Belmont in October.
Yeah, I don't mind. Actually, to me, Belmont's backside is one of the nicest ones ever. I mean, it is. And once you're in Belmont, it's great. I don't mind the whole deal. I'm friends with everybody in the racing office. And so that part of it's not. It's just that 3-hour drive, and I just don't want to live in the city. You know what I mean? I can't.
You can hang out at my office if you come to Belmont. It's got a nice view of the paddock. It's on the third floor.
You got your own office up there?
Well, I share it. We share an office space.
Oh, cool.
But there's room for you. You can come visit.
And that's the truth is just that trip back and forth. I love it up here. I mean, normally I rent a lake house for the summer. I bought me a brand new boat a couple of years ago here.
Nice.
So I'm thinking, I don't know. I just think it seems like Florida is the place to go for I need to kind of get a routine in my life,
Okay. Well, we're glad that your routine involves coming to Saratoga, and it's
Oh yeah,
been
for sure.
amazing.
I'm coming to Saratoga every summer for sure.
You're one of the most popular people that comes to Saratoga, right? Who's better than Eric Gio? Come on. Nice win last weekend.
Thanks, buddy.
That was great. Thanks for joining us, man.
Anytime.
Pleasure. It's great to have you here in Loudon.
Well, I tell you what, that's what's wrong with this industry. They need to put the horse, the jockey, and the train always finish 1, 2, 3, and the fans and the owners finish 4th. We need to do more of this, more fans, more owners getting any kind of recognition. In my opinion, that's what's wrong with the industry.
Nobody more important than the fans of racing, no question about it. And you're a man who's always been there for the fans. And Eric, I appreciate you coming here.
No problem.
And,
Thanks,
we look forward to Loudon running in the Travers.
Yeah, it's gonna be
believe
fun.
it or not, you don't have a lot of haters out there. People do root for
I
you, and
know.
they're happy to see you win. There's no question about us.
It's pretty fun to watch because I don't do like I tell my wife and my partner and everybody, they read that crap on there, and the haters and all this crap, and them guys get behind a keyboard and they're
very brave.
They argue amongst
Believe it, there's
themselves.
people
They don't
that
even know each other. They keep arguing amongst themselves.
People
I think
that don't
it's hilarious.
like me on the internet. Can you believe that? There's people that don't like me.
Really? Why would they do that?
I don't know.
I think that's famous
such a
Amos.
Nice
I think
guy.
that's Tom Amos doing that. You're right.
My
behind
new
your back.
partner, Tom Amos.
But yeah, I don't. Like I tell him, I don't do social media. I am social media.
You should have a Twitter account. We gotta go. We gotta go.
Okay,
we're done. Stay with us. We come right back. At the Post Live is brought to you by the Saratoga Hospital Foundation. Together, we support community health.